You are now watching your mans in them live.
You are now rocking with your mans in them.
Yeah. News on the scroll. We're going to get into the first topic. Yo, are y'all still pumping the 21 Savage and Drake album?
21. Hell yeah. Actually,
not the whole album. It's just one song that I'm bumping. From
Which
the
one?
Album. Jumbotron shit popping.
Speaking of 21, y'all heard what he said about Nas recently?
yes.
What did he say? Yo, just play the clip.
No, he's not. He's not relevant. He just has a loyal ass fan base.
Thank you.
He just has a loyal fan base that, and he still make good ass music. But
They don't
like,
have a core fan
relevant-
base.
All right. So basically, 21 Savage says, yeah, 21 Savage.
It was another part where he's like, Nas is not relevant. I don't think he was talking about Nas there specifically.
No, he was.
He was talking about Nas?
He's talking about Nas.
All right.
So he says Nas isn't relevant, but in a respectful way. Like he's saying, like, he's not today's music, I would guess. You know, like he can still perform, he can still make money off of music.
Right.
But he's probably saying, this is my opinion, he's probably saying that nobody new is looking for, like no new listeners are looking for him.
Right.
I think in order to have this conversation, we have to look up the definition of relevant. And relevant is appropriate to the current time period or circumstances of contemporary interests. And I think that's very important. I think a lot of people were jumping on him and saying, like, he was saying Nas wasn't relevant as a whole. And I don't think that's what he was trying to
Right.
say.
And he definitely said that his music is good. He said, yeah, he still makes good music.
Yeah.
Right. He's just saying right now, Nas is not relevant.
Right.
So hip hop is a young sport. Like it's dictated by the youth. So they're not checking for Nas. They're not checking for his last album. I like his last album.
Right.
But they're not looking for that shit.
Yeah.
I can say that I don't fully agree with him. Like he still is relevant in other areas.
To us.
But I'm not talking about with music though. Not just in the genre of music. He has his hands in other business. I just seen a documentary that he just released about Supreme Team and all that.
Yeah, but
that makes him relevant.
I think we talking about music though.
It's
We talking
'cause
about
you
music.
old.
But you're right.
These niggas probably don't even know who Supreme Team is.
You're right.
You know, the younger generation, they don't know any of that.
So y'all agree with 21?
I agree with 21, but I would say this. I think that you have two lanes. You have trending popular music, right? That's one lane. And then you have artists who are good at making good music. And I think the trending popular music is always going to be at the top. But that doesn't mean that these artists aren't making good music. I think that there's some artists who can cross into that path, that trending music, like Drake. I think Drake makes good music. He could cross in and out of that trending path, right? But someone like Nas, he's not crossing into that trending path. And that's where I think the whole relevance thing comes because, yes, his last album was good. The album before that was previous was good. But Nas still sounds like Nas.
Right. He makes music for his fan base.
Exactly. And that's a big part of him not becoming into that trend, right? Because he's not bending to make trending music.
He doesn't try and stay relevant. Drake puts whatever is hot now into his music so that he can stay relevant.
And that's why we had a conversation. We had a conversation before where I talked about Cole's album and Kendrick's album, how there's a lot of hype when they first drop. It's good music, but you don't hear from it after a couple weeks because it's a great album, good music, but they don't cross into that relevance trending path.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically,
I agree.
You basically answered my question.
Yes, sir.
So the question was, somebody like Tyler, the Creator, some of those artists, they can always go diamond or close to it, like when it comes to selling their albums. And they may not have a relevant hit. They may not have some shit that's trending.
Right.
So you saying, you basically said, it doesn't mean they're relevant, it's their fan base that's kind of...
I think Tyler is
he's relevant.
I think you can't really compare. Like Nas is like OG.
I'm not comparing him to Nas, but like you said, a J. Cole or Kendrick, right?
Yeah, they're still at the top of hip hop right now, though.
You basically kind of said, not really.
No. If we're talking about top 5 rappers right now, J. Cole,
I think
Kendrick,
you still list them up there, but
Yeah.
they're not in that lane. They don't jump into that trending
right?
lane.
But
they're
they're
not
but
as
they're-
much as
they're
Drake
relevant,
jumps into that trending
They're
lane.
relevant because they're still at the top of their craft now. So relevancy with hip hop now. Nas is more like Nas, Jay, Big,
Yeah.
Pac. Like, you feel me? That's like what you think about when you think about Nas.
They're
Wait, so
legends.
you telling me
They're
if Jay-Z,
legends.
if
They
Jay-Z
exceeded.
drops
Yeah.
an album, if Jay-Z drops an album right now, and this is where I want to, we all listened to the Nas album recently, or a little bit of it, right?
Right.
I
New
listened to
one.
most of it.
I listened to all of it.
Great album.
It's called King's Disease 3, right? He has 1, 2, 3.
That would be
Okay.
that would define it. Yes.
All right,
I'm
so
glad there's a 2.
I'll bring this up. First off, the album was great. Love the production. What's the producer's
Boy.
name? Hit Boy. I keep forgetting his name. His beats are fire.
Always.
Producer. And was he a rapper too?
Yeah.
I remember when like back
He
then
started,
he
he
was
dropped a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked him as a rapper too. Anywho, the music was great. Before I make my comment, I want to. What's your opinions on what you heard?
I mean, I like his album. I thought it was dope, but I think it always has been a thing where they say Nas pick bad beats. But now it's like he has like a top producer giving him fire beats. His lyrics has always been on point. So it's like, what now? You know what I'm saying? You can't dispute it now. Like he's one of them.
Still sharp too.
He's still
pen is
rap. He's
sharp,
still got
yeah.
bars. Yeah, like
He can still
it's-
tell a story just like he did back in the day.
But on the way here, we was listening. He was talking about getting light and double dutch in the street. A lot of like people that's where it comes down to like his fan base would understand what that is. Right. Kids now, I don't think they know what that is.
But there's a
It's also a New York bias too.
true.
Big
But
New York
100%.
bias.
There's
100%.
also a gift and a curse to being trendy. Like the gift is like everybody's gonna see you. You're gonna be number one. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be trending.
Right.
But at the same time, I could give you a perfect example. Be Love. No, she acting know that she want me to spank it, but blah, 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 whatever. Right? So, see, it was a popular song throughout the summer. I saw him perform it live. After that chorus, they didn't know shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. They didn't know anything.
Yeah.
They didn't know anything. And it's like, when you trend like that, where it becomes popular, that's all they know you for.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't come up with something that's as popular, you kind of take a hit.
I think trending is more of a con than a pro.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's that 10 minutes of fame that you get, but now you got to hold up to it. We talked about
Right.
this on Section 2's thing. I said that
What you say?
on Section 2's thing on the
Oh, you
his
said his name
episode.
was Section Tuesday.
The episode we had was Section 2, and we talked about female rappers and
Ice
hip hop
Spice and shit.
Yeah, and it's like Ice Spice, yeah, that song was trending and lit and out there, right? But like her as an artist, she needed time to develop. People were talking about her stage presence and her performance, like she was out of breath and not like now all of those flaws are on that
You're
big
exposed
stage,
now.
right?
Right.
You're exposed, right? Instead of the slow growth, now you get 10 minutes of fame. Now you got to really show up,
Yeah.
and it's hard for people to actually show up. And I think that goes across with anything going viral.
Let me read these comments real quick.
Yeah, that's what I'm playing
Marquis
with.
says,
Read the
no
comments,
disrespect on Nas should be tolerated. We should not allow our elder classmen to be disrespected in any manner. To be fair, Marquise, I don't think 21
Nobody
was trying to
disrespected
disrespect.
him.
No, but the niggas in the chat were, though. They was on some disrespectful shit. Like, they was like, oh, niggas is checking for Glorilla before they check for Nas. Like, they was going in.
Hey, yo, remember
they was
Kyrie
going
last
in.
episode? Ain't nobody trying to listen to no Nas.
Yeah, true.
Lily says, I get it, but the fact that he's talking about Nas negates him not being relevant. I agree. I don't agree with that because he's talking about it because Nas dropping an album. That's probably why they was talking about it.
Somebody probably asked him a question.
And Marquise says Nas never chose a bad beats. Marquise, I don't know about that, brother. And Lily says trending and relevant are different though, and I agree with that.
True.
All right, so here's my the comments about the
Trends are relevant.
Exactly. I was just thinking that. I was like, well, if you're trending, you're relevant right now.
Here's my
Trends
comments
are
about
relevant.
the Nas album. So I'm listening to it, right? First off, very age appropriate. You know, I'm listening to this. I'm like, I'm older now. You know, because I'm listening to.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you, Gus.
This is back to King's Disease 1, 2, and 3. I'm
Gus,
older now.
Gus
Yes.
older. Gus sitting there with his hat tilted like T.I.
What you know about that?
Well, y'all didn't even tell me. Y'all didn't even tell me.
That's what I was gonna say before the show started, but I wanted to get you.
You know, you're about to rap in the park.
Fuck it. All right, fuck it. All right, so damn,
My bad. Yeah.
I messed up my own rule. All right, so very age appropriate. He was definitely it's positive,
Right.
right? He figured out a way to be positive and relate to people in the street. But here's what got me. I was like, you know how you can listen to somebody from the past, from a different era, and they know how to gel with the new age shit? I was like, does Jay do it better? I'm not gonna lie, listening to the album, it's a good album. It's a good album. But I'm like, how Jay can spit something and the kids may still fuck with it compared to Nas, I don't know.
Are you trying to say Jay's a better rapper?
No, I'm not trying to say Jay's a better
you trying to
rapper.
say?
What I'm saying is, can Jay blend in with can Jay attract the new kids better than Nas based off of this album? When I was listening to this album, it was some parts was a little cringy, like the double dutch and getting light. I'm like, it's a little cringy, just a little bit.
But
you know
then
what
he
I'm saying?
started talking about girls smoking hookah.
Huh?
Yeah, that's the thing. He jumped into talking about girls smoking hookah.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, that's what came into mind. I was like, does Jay-Z do it better?
I don't know if he does it better. I think Jay's a bigger artist, so it's gonna attract. He's more likely to have more reach over the younger generation than
I can
Nas
see
is.
that.
Think about his verse on, what was that? That was on King.
God did.
Yeah, God did that verse,
Yeah.
right? And you think about what you heard from this album, any verse from this album. If you were to
I don't think you could compare those. I think those are two different. Like Jay is a bigger artist, and when he drops a verse, the world stops. And I don't think Nas has that polarity.
I mean, I feel like, whoa, I wouldn't say that.
Not skill wise, but I'm saying as like
the star thing.
people look on the outside looking in, like there's a star effect that Jay-Z has. He has a bigger presence than Nas does.
But my thing is, when you can say a name, and then it's like, yo, it's different when you say, oh, Nas dropped an album, and then, yo, that's Nas, that's Jay-Z, that's Pop, that's, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody, that's Kendrick, that's Cole. Like, not everybody has that. Nobody's saying that's Ice Spice. Nobody's saying that's B-Love. Like, no. The legends, you know who the legends are. You know who the people of the upper echelon are. They're the ones on the world tours. They're the ones that's selling out the arenas. They're the ones that can go anywhere, and then, like, when you see them, they got an aura about them. That's what I mean when I say, when you got Nas and you got Jay-Z, Jay-Z considered him competition for a reason.
But I do understand what Drew is saying. It was just a thought, and it is true. It's just like if somebody deemed if someone was to say who won the actual war between Nas and Jay-Z, when you think about their success, right?
The war.
I mean, Brooklyn better
war.
than Queens.
Who won the war?
Yeah, the battle, someone would say Nas, but the battle, they would say Nas, but the war, like,
They would say Jay.
Because of his career.
Because of his
Brooklyn.
success.
It's Brooklyn.
And popular.
It's Brooklyn.
I
So-
say it's a tie because they both on the verge of, well, Jay-Z's
But
a billionaire.
They both
Yeah.
successful.
They're both
Yeah,
successful.
They're both.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
But
Who has a
if we're
bigger
comparing
empire?
Huh?
Jay-Z, who has a bigger empire?
bigger effect in the game.
I mean, as long as Lil Mama don't pop out. but-
Queensbridge is the biggest project in the world.
All right, let me get to
And
some of these
Nas run
comments.
that.
Melody says their styles are different. Jay and Nas are different. Lily says Nas has a style that hasn't really changed. Jay-Z has made it a point to stay up with the times. That's a fact. And Melody says, I heard your slick comment, Austin. LOL. What slick comment?
I don't know.
Listen, I
They
can't.
all three got headphones on. I don't know what you're talking about, Melody.
I can't say. I got a Jay-Z signed one of the greatest artists of all time. So